I had wept tears of relief. For the first time, I have smiled in over an year ago, and I hugged my children, and it feels like a stone size of mountains had been lifted from my chest, and I can breathe again. Hello everyone, welcome to the new series of Drishti IS. I am Ritu, and today's session is about Bilkis Bano case. Yes, these are the words of Bilkis Bano, and these words has been spoken by her when the Supreme Court had delivered its judgment that she was happy with the decision that justice has been given to her. So, moving on to the points of discussion and from what perspective this topic is important for examination, we'll discuss this thing, and this topic is important from GS2 perspective. So, points of discussion part. First of all, we are going to discuss the news, and then we are going to discuss the background, that when this case has been started and what is the current development regarding this case, and on what ground Supreme Court strike down the remission orders, and then how did the question of remission reach to the Supreme Court, can convicts apply again for the remissions, and then practice question for prelims. So these are the discussion we are going to discuss in today's session. So what is the news? So yesterday we have seen that Supreme Court had struck down the remissions order of 11 convicts which has been convicted in Bilkis Bano case, and they have been released on 15th August 2022 on the orders that they will be released after 14 years of jails. But these policies were not relevant to this kind of the heinous crimes. We will discuss in that what is the Supreme Court opinion into this. But this is the news that Supreme Court had struck down the remission orders, and it had asked the convicts to surrender in the jails within 2 weeks. So this is the news. Moving on to the next slide, which is what is the background of this case. So when this case has been started and when this heinous crime took place. So on March 2002, when there was a Godhra case going in the Gujarat, so a violent mob attacked on 21-year-old woman Bilkis Bano, who was 5 months pregnant, and the mob, the 7 to 8 people or maybe 12 or 13 people raped Bilkis Bano, and they had also murdered the family members of the Bilkis Bano, and around 7 members of the Bilkis Bano family were murdered, and their bodies had been thrown out in the nearby jungles. So this heinous crime took place on March 3, 2002, and then in 2003 Supreme Court ordered CBI inquiry into this case, and in 2008 a special court convicted 11 men to the sentence of life imprisonment in the charge of the rape and murder. So we can see that this incident took place in 2002, but Bilkis Bano got the justice in 2008, and suddenly this case has erupted in 2016, and Bombay High Court reserved judgment on the appeals by the 11 convicts. So in 2016 they had made the appeals for the remissions, and in May 2017 Bombay High Court upholds life sentence for the 11 convicts. And in 2019 what happened that SC directs Gujarat government to pay rupees 50 lakh compensation to the Bilkis Bano, and May 13, 2022, SC instruct Gujarat government to consider a convict's plea for the 1992 policy. So this 1992 policy has this provision in Gujarat, but we have a different stories related to this case because this incident took place in Gujarat, but the case was transferred to the Maharashtra. And August 15, 2020, as per the Gujarat remissions policy, 11 convicts are released from the Godhra sub-jail. So this is the background of the Bilkis Bano case, and what happened after that, this story didn't ended there, because Bilkis Bano was upset, and so much upset, and she felt unsafe, and this was also in PIL that how rapists and murderers can roam freely on the roads. Though we have these provisions that we can give second chance to the convicts, but how we can give second chance to the such heinous convicts? So these are the case, and Bilkis Bano, for her safety and for the safety of other women and for the rights of the other women, this case again came to the court, and on August 25, 2022, SC issues notice on PIL against the convicts of premature release because they were given the life imprisonment and they have been released after 14 years. And in November 30, 2022, Bilkis Bano challenges Gujarat remissions decision. December 17, 2022, SC rejects Bilkis Bano plea for review of its May 13, 2022 verdict. March 27, 2023, SC issues notice on Bilkis Bano plea against remissions. August 7, 2023, SC begins final hearing on petitions challenging the remissions decision. And on October 12, 2023, SC reserves verdict after 11-day hearing on this issue. And finally, on 8th January 2024, SC nullifies the remission for 11 convicts, and they had said that you can surrender to the jail in 2 weeks. So this was the development of the case, and finally Bilkis Bano got the justice. But here also we have to know the rules and regulation regarding the remissions, that what are the remissions policy we have, and on what ground they have been released, and on what ground they are again going to the jail. So these are the backgrounds of this case. Moving on to the next slide, which is Supreme Court strike down the remission. So here we are going to discuss that on what ground Supreme Court has strike down the remission orders. So there was a bench of Justice B.V. Nagaratna and Justice Ujjal Bhuwan. So the bench has said that though the incident took place in Gujarat, but this was not the case of Gujarat because of the certain apprehensions and certain misleading evidences and evidence tampering. The case has been transferred to the Maharashtra, Mumbai. So whatever the orders and whatever the rules apply to those convicts, it should be from the Maharashtra rules, it should not be from the Gujarat rules. And on this basis, Supreme Court has struck down this remission order. So you may wonder that on what ground Supreme Court has struck down this thing. So you should know this, that under section 436 of CRPC, the convicts has right for the remissions, but you should also check for that or on which jail the case is going on. So you have to look this case. So because of this Gujarat and Maharashtra issue, the Supreme Court has struck down this provision. Moving on to the next one, which is how did the question of remissions reach the Supreme Court? So how did this question of remission reach the Supreme Court? Because they have already given the life imprisonment. So how they can go to the Supreme Court for the remission? So in 2022, one of the convicts in the Bilkis Bano gang rape, Radhe Shyam Shah, approached the Supreme Court seeking the direction to the Gujarat government that they should be given the premature release after 14 years, because according to 1992 Gujarat policy, the convicts are allowed to apply for the remission after serving the 14 years of the jail. But here we have also twist. In 2008, what happened that such cases and such rules are not applied to the heinous convicts. And these are the convicts of the rape and murders. So such rules did not apply to the Radhe Shyam Shah. And what happened on May 13, 2022, Supreme Court bench of Justice Ajay Rastogi and Justice Vikram Nath asked the Gujarat government to seek the provisions related to the 1992 policy, and on this basis they were given the remissions. But after PILs and after the challenges by the Bilkis Bano, the thing again go to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has reviewed the judgment of Gujarat courts and also the proceedings led by the Maharashtra court. And on the basis of all those proceedings, Supreme Court has reached to the conclusion that these are nullified and it should not apply to the such convicts. So this is the panel's recommendation, and because of that, this question came to the Gujarat court. Moving on, that can the convicts apply for the remission against? Yes, because we are a democratic country, and here we also have rights for the convicts. And here there is a problem between the rights of the victims and the family, and also the rights of the murderer or rights of the rapist, because he is also the citizen of the country. But Supreme Court and judges were skeptical about the second rights, because the cases were not the similar cases, and we do agree that every person deserves a second chance. But here this is the case of heinous crimes and murder and rapes, and in that case it's up to the courts, and it's up to the judges also, and it's up to the cases also that they should be given remissions or not. And on the other hand, this case has been transferred to the Maharashtra, and in Maharashtra we don't have such policies that after 14 years they can apply for the remission. In Maharashtra we do have policy for the 28 year, that after serving the 28 years of the jail, the convicts can apply for the remission. So we can see this case when the convicts will serve to the 28 years, but till now they don't have to go to the courts for the remission, but when it comes to the rights, they have right to go for the remissions. So this is the case. Moving on to the next slide. Next slide is about practice question for prelims. So this question is related to the remission because the whole discussion is based on the remission. And your first statement is, it is the complete ending of a sentence of a reduced point. So in the first statement we are asking about that what is remission, and in the second statement, under Article 72, President can grant remissions, and here we are asking the correct statement. So kindly answer in the comment section. So I hope you like this session, and this session is not just important for your GS2 perspective, it is also important for the women empowerment, women justice, social justice, and it can be helpful for your essay perspective, ethics perspective, because in ethics there may be the case studies related to this. So kindly do refer all the required judgments and all the cases which are related to this case. So I hope you like this session. If you have any queries related to this session, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you.